City Pod. Um, it is a beautiful winter day over here, and well, I'm gonna say
The Midwest.
the Midwest in my bunker, and
He's still deployed.
You're like the only person frying your like background. Is the funny thing.
I mean, every day. Look. We're big now. We're doing videos, so I might as well show people. I'm trying to show people I'm not being held in like a white control room. Look,
I don't know.
I even have my own picture now. It's so pretty.
You know, people have like one poster inside their cubicle at work. That's it, bro. That's what's going on.
This is my family.
Yeah,
I haven't seen them in months.
Oh man. But yeah, we're trying to stay warm during this current winter storm, which to me ain't shit, but I don't drive currently.
It's not a storm.
Well, yeah, but I think like if you're driving, yes.
It's not a storm.
Okay, thank you, Johnny.
Get him, head ass.
But if you drive, stop. Don't. You already.
Stop. No.
You're already a bad driver here in St. Louis anyway, so just stay that ass home. You can't drive on ice. But yeah, that's how I treat my fans, right?
Yeah. If you're anywhere outside of St. Louis, yeah, you can keep driving.
Yeah, I would say now if you're in the Midwest and the Southern Illinois and Missouri area, yeah, just stay home. If you didn't get the memo, and if you don't try to go to the store, they're all out of bread and milk. But
yeah,
we're in the last days.
Right. That's how everyone's acting.
It was like the start of COVID where Walmart was just this whole store was tossed.
Yeah.
Dude, how?
This is probably a topic for another day, but I feel like people are like catastrophizing everything.
I think everyone's like banking on it. They're like, oh, this is it. This is the big one. It's like you can't. What?
I just wish it was at this point.
Oh my god!
What the hell?
And that's what I'm talking about. See,
now on to the topic of the episode.
People literally prey on everyone's downfall. But hey, when the downfall is happening, if we were back a week ago when we first got alerted to this winter storm, maybe you could have traveled somewhere to dodge the bad weather.
Yeah, if the world is ending, I hope that your fridge lasts long enough to keep all that milk that you're buying.
Yes.
No, if the world's ending, I hope Steven's segues will carry us through to the afterlife peacefully.
Hey, I do what I can. Pretty good one. When did you say, viewers? But yeah, in this episode, we're going to talk about. That's right. We're going to talk about our dream vacations and where would you like to go. Maybe check something off your bucket list. Maybe you got a location in mind. Maybe you just have like a idea of a vacation. You don't even know the name of the country you have to go to. And maybe it isn't just in the U.S., which, I will say if you live in the U.S. and you want to travel to the U.S. first, but that's boring. So we're not going to talk about how insert local state here is so great for tourism.
I can't go hiking in Colorado?
No. Have you gone hiking in Missouri?
Yeah.
Okay, then. I mean, you could.
Yeah, now you have permission.
Now I have the right.
Yeah, you got to level up, bro.
As long as it's not snowing, right?
I mean, that's a risk you're taking.
But yeah, I'm excited for this because Trisha and I have been talking a lot about when we're going to take our first vacation, and going out of the country is. I know it seems more possible than it did a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I agree.
I don't know what exactly has changed besides obviously our amount of income, but
and COVID.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe I'll get some mileage out of my passport for once because I only used it once in my life.
A lot of places need that tourist money.
Yeah, they want
especially places like Japan. I don't know if you guys remember, during the COVID era, they were constantly opening and closing because they're we need tourist revenue. But then tourists came, and now we're back to most of the population being infected.
Yeah,
there was a lot of back and forth for them specifically.
Yeah, it's rough for a lot of countries. That rely on that source of revenue, but we're not going to worry about that because we're not traveling anytime at this very moment soon, and. We're planning things out. So, yeah. So, I guess, who's gonna start? Will be me. What's up?
Johnny already said Japan. I think it's my
David is
time.
Oh,
He's
I
gonna shake the
see.
ground, guys. He's gonna shake the ground.
I think it's time I shake it up a bit. You know.
Oh,
Okay.
All right. So I'll obviously, because every nerd wants to. This is their rite of passage, saying you want to go to Japan. When you're a child, you say you want to live in Japan. But when you become an adult, you only want to visit because you find out the truth.
Nippon.
So the first reason I really want to go to Japan, I don't know the exact format you want to do this, Steven, but
Speak your
first reason, definitely like the food. Like I've always dreamed. I used to have this dream of like when I was single, like I want to go to Japan while it's raining and go to one of those like ramen booths and sit next to the other
rom-com, bro.
No, I don't want to meet
Wait,
anyone. I just want to.
You mean like
The idea of
Naruto?
the idea of quietly, yeah, exactly. Quietly eating my ramen next to other men who were like tired of their lives.
Oh my god,
That is the
dream.
That is the dream. Nothing more manly than that, dude.
Japanese depression.
I mean, surround yourself in the vibe of Japanese depression is definitely a different type of aura.
Yeah, at least they're nice.
I will agree though that like I think those food stalls are really cool. I like the idea of like you said, like going to a bar and there's one chef who's like chefing it up for like 20 office workers.
He's been making ramen since noodles were invented.
Yep.
You know,
you're eating that, drinking a Sapporo. You know, it's like that experience. The food for sure. You know, and I love little shops. And Japan has them all over the place. It could be like a little pop up, like a yakisoba thing or some kind of like bread bakery.
Takoyaki.
Yeah, like they're just be sitting there tucked away in some office buildings. Oh yeah, here's also a restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, I think the food aspect of Japan is really interesting because like I don't know if you guys know, but they also have a lot like healthier food just by default because a lot of like American ingredients that we use for like preservatives and stuff like that are outlawed in Japan. Like they don't have them in like their food. So also like a lot of people that have moved from America to Japan has said like I eat like garbage still, but I have lost weight because of the amount of like the food differences here.
Wow. Yeah, I've been thinking about that. I was trying to go out, you know, that street food, you know, that takoyaki, you know,
Yeah.
It's definitely
Sandos.
Bruh, it's definitely portion size too. And
Yeah.
their whole diet is based off balance. So you won't get anything too crazy unless it's like a tourist spot.
Yeah. America, here's big burger.
They do
And
have
also
some crazy. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I was just say I also just really I really want to go try some of the gas station food, dude, like the convenience store food.
7-Eleven.
Gombini.
That's part of the dream, you know. After I walk home in the rain, it's like I need something to eat for breakfast the next morning.
Yep.
It's all there, hot food.
It's funny because people have like made videos like kind of like joking about this aspect. It's like the first thing I did to Japan was walk into 7-Eleven and grab an egg sandwich. So
Yeah, and that'd be me in a heartbeat. Like I'm excited for like the small things, and just the I don't even say life changes, but based on what y'all are saying, like life changes, because even diet wise, it's like really hard to eat healthy in the States.
Yeah,
but I feel like that wouldn't be the case if I were to like traveling somewhere else.
I'll say Japan, they definitely have like a lot of shops that serve you like cheap food that's super healthy for you.
Absolutely.
Like, it's a different thing. It also convenience stores like a whole different level compared to what we have here. Like their Lawson's are the convenience stores, or another big one in Japan. They're like 2 stories and all this stuff. Like, bro, is this even count as a convenience store at this point?
I still want junk food though, so I want to try their vending machines.
I would try the vending machines for like their drinks they have, because that's that's the iconic high school anime. Like, oh, I'm at the vending machine.
I would try like the crazy ones, like I don't know if you guys saw, but there's like a pizza vending machine in Japan too.
No way.
That didn't look good to me. That did not look good.
I want to try it though, because it's a vending machine pizza. Like, this is crazy, you know.
There's
like,
microplastics.
why didn't America do this? So
that's like when I was in the mall recently in St. Louis, and they had an orange juice, like a freshly squeezed orange juice vending machine that I tried just for the
in front of you.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that orange is dead.
Oh
anyway.
my god. There is a vending machine I want to try because it's just funny. Like you can just get completely, completely washed. It's like
It's like a gotcha.
it's a gotcha vending machine, and some of the things you get, like it's so like troll because there's capsules in it. You can't really see what's inside.
Mm.
And the guy I was watching, the first thing he got with the toy beetle, like okay, well yeah, bug catching's a thing out here, like a lot, like the stag beetles, how they fight and all that stuff. And then the second thing he got was a big ass capsule. But when he opened it, it was just a rock inside.
No way.
I was like, dude, that looks hilarious. Actually,
That sounds funny. Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Approach that with like $20 and just see what you get. That sounds funny.
Yeah.
Taking the rock home.
Yeah,
Right.
dude. That's a souvenir.
This rock is from foreign soil.
It's located
TSA
in an
cannot stop
alley.
me.
Well, that's the thing about vending machines out there. They'll just be
They're
anywhere.
everywhere. Yeah.
Well, in Japan, there's an alley just full of like vending machines. That's where he found that one.
Mhm.
So it's very, very interesting.
Yeah, and that brings me to the next thing I want to do. You know, big Digimon fan. So the Digimon Cyber Sleuth games take place, and one of the main locations is in Nakano Broadway.
Oh.
And Shibuya is in the game, but that's not the point.
I know. I was like, that's in like almost every game based in Japan, but yeah.
Broadway is like a Nakano Broadway is like a multi-floor shopping district place,
Mhm.
and they have like a bunch of vending machines and side shops and stuff like in each quadrant of this building. So I always wanted to go there just to like see it in real life because that was basically like the hub world of this game that I played a bunch. But
Well, what's crazy about like that? I mean, that's what like all the Pokemon department stores are based off, is that building. Because
I didn't know that. That's really cool.
Well, you notice how every floor is based off a certain product. Like there's a tech floor, there's a cosmetics floor, there's a plush merchandise store. Yeah, like it's an iconic building. And I also would love to go because man, even though it's the same building, it's the like primo place for that product. Like a primo place for tech, that building. Primo place for cosmetics, that building. Because it's the entire floor. It's insane.
Yeah, I think Japan's not my pick for this topic, but Japan is somewhere I do want to go. But it's like I want to see kind of the two sides of Japan, where it's like the really commercial and shopping side, and then the Japanese countryside is also really nice from just pictures I've seen. You know, so like seeing that stuff too. Also, like seeing like a view of Mount Fuji and stuff like that. Like going to Kyoto, like seeing the visual aspect and the like visual beauty of Japan is always something that's interested me as well.
Yeah, and
Sure.
I want to go bike riding on the coast as well, just because I've seen like there's this guy I watch, and he like he does like challenges, I guess, where he's like, I can't eat anything and I have to like survive off of like 1,000 yen for this entire weekend, which like probably is not that hard, but basically he rents a bike and he just drives on the coast and he just takes these like amazing pictures and stuff. And I was like, I really want to see what that's like because it almost seems more like serene and less populated around the coast than like if you were to go to somewhere in the US along the coast. It tends to just be heavily marketed or like just like a beach or something.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because like again, like America has something like it, but like you said, it's probably like a tourist trap. And if you can get somewhere where it's a little bit more like that kind of tranquil, or just just a cool nature spot like that, it's on a smaller scale compared, like like there's a river trail I used to live by at my old house that had that kind of same energy, but like it was only for a mile. And then, on certain days it'd be packed because there's a lot of us Americans, if you didn't know.
Right.
So
Japan's also condensed, but yeah, less on the rural side for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely want to check out Tower Records though if I would go there.
Oh yeah,
I used to collect CDs, and there's a lot of things that are there, especially because it would be way easier and cheaper to get like old 80s pop albums Japan from the source versus importing them for a higher price.
Have you seen prices for those? It's like $3 for like the music that we listen to and get an entire album of that.
Because for them it's just there, it's just old stuff.
Yeah.
For us it's like, oh, this is great, but it's hard to get over here, so it's gonna be way more expensive. But I definitely would love to go to like Tower Records and then like their old. I forgot what the store's called on top of my head right now, but there's this old like there is a place that sells used technology, and you can find a lot of crazy stuff that they just get rid of or reuse or recycle whatever they do. And it's just like you get that for crazy good prices. Like, man, this is like
I
old
want to say that's
iPads,
part of
old record players.
Akihabara.
No, it's not located. There's ones like straight up in like Shibuya.
Oh, okay. It's
For what I was looking at tech video, he went there and bought a ton of stuff. I'm like, dude, I wish.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I would love, and this will probably never happen because of how busy Japan is. I'd love a picture in the middle of the Shibuya crossing.
I don't
Like
know.
that would just be so fun.
Especially, well, first of all, tourists have been trifling, so they've been kind of locking down a bunch of stuff. But I think they'd be more lenient to get like let you get a quick like drone picture or a selfie pic of it. I think it's more doable than you think, because once the people are walking around, I mean, you can definitely stop. They'll move out. I mean, again, people are a little bit more respectable of your space. Not even a little, I'd say a lot in comparison to America. So if you stood in the middle of a crowd, turned around, took a picture, it would just be another day. In my opinion, people would just be like, oh, okay, like I don't want to be in this person's picture, just move out the way.
I do it at night though, because in the middle of the day, it's like worse than New York because how condensed Tokyo is in comparison. Dude, it's like all those waves of people, and to be that one guy in the middle trying to take a picture. There's no way.
I do it. Doesn't, I mean, it helps that I'm like taller than the average person, so.
Oh yeah, we're definitely taller than the average Japanese man.
So it's kind of like
just the man.
It's not like they won't see us coming or bowl us over.
Right. Also, usually women are shorter than men. That's why I said that first.
I
just thought about that.
Joseph, thanks for clarifying.
Stand your ground.
At that part, you had to at that part. Like, okay, let me actually explain that. Actually, has the logic behind it.
Note: women are shorter than men.
Yeah, bro. The author's note.
Well, I was gonna say real quick. You did bring up bike riding. I was like, that's for sure something I would do if I went to Japan, because like I actually did a bike course on VR, because some Japanese do recreate a whole bike trail. Like this, if it's fun here, in real life it must be crazy good, because it's actually it's real. I can take pictures and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I would definitely try that.
Just imagine being like an elliptical, just on your VR headset.
Yeah, Paleotone.
Yeah, there you go. That sounds fun.
Yeah. I don't want to go too long, but a couple of last things. Definitely want to go to the Pokemon Center. I want to go to the Zao Fox Village, which is the animal sanctuary, and pet some foxes. And then I want to go to the Gundam Cafe. But more importantly, I want to go to the Kyoto International Manga Museum. I need to see where my origin story came from.
I like that.
Yeah,
a lot of good things.
There's so many good there's so many good picks to do in Japan. Like I know that they just opened I think they just opened at the Nintendo museum.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You know, that's on the bottom of my list. I ain't gonna lie.
You don't want to see the giant Wiimote?
Yeah, you don't want to play on the oversized controllers.
Yeah, Mario.
I have to pay for after paying for admissions.
And you have to be on a wait list for a year, like the Kirby Cafe.
Is this for real?
Yeah, both of those things are for real, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still open, but they also had a Dragon Quest bar. I actually wanted to go there. I don't know if it's still open anymore though.
I'm pretty sure they have a lot of IP bars.
They
like,
would
even
never
like really big.
the Dragon Quest bar and turn it down.
It was themed around the bar in Dragon Quest 9. That's why I really wanted to go.
Oh, I gotta go there. But if I went to Pokemon Center, they'd have to get rid of me. Dude.
That's all the money. That's all the money I have in the world.
They'd have to get rid of me. Can you stop taking pictures next to the Mewtwo in the cage?
Yeah, dude.
I know him.
You're blocking traffic.
I have to get him out of there.
This is my hole.
Oh man.
Yeah, but there's just a lot of time like small fun things. I'm not really super complex when it comes to being satisfied. So as long as I get to eat and then do something that brings me some peace of mind, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Also, like even visiting like a shrine or something, I would definitely do. But
there's
you got to do some cultural stuff. Yeah.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Their food's cultural for me. So.
Oh yeah, I mean it is. So.
All right. Well, no, that was an excellent first choice for sure. I know, like you said, people usually pick that one, but there's a reason why, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's a good choice.
It's a great choice for everyone.
I'll bring back a cherry blossom for you guys.
What are you
Let's
talking
go.
about? We're going. You don't just go once,
Oh,
right?
Also, cherry blossom season is the worst time to travel to Japan. So.
Yeah. You can have you and Trisha's trip, but
wait, I was trying to go by myself.
Damn,
you can have your trip.
that's crazy.
I'm just kidding, babe.
I don't know. I feel like
Nah.
I feel like you should. I feel like people when they travel outside the country, they should travel with people, but they can have individual trips.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, that's the way
Kind of
to
like
go.
branch off and do your own thing.
Yeah. And then you want to like, oh, I'm going to this. Do you want to go with me? It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I like and we've done like I think 3 guys trips so far technically,
Mm-hmm.
and like I enjoyed like whenever we like branched off, did our own thing, and like whenever we went back to the Airbnb or whatever, like talking about like what we did. Like I think that's always like a good moment to have whenever you go on vacation with other people. It's just like, oh, I really enjoyed doing this, and like you can tell other people what you did that they haven't even experienced. So
That's a pro tip, viewers. If you're gonna travel, you can still travel solo, but if something happens, it's nice to know.
you're cooked.
Well,
I don't think that's where he was going.
I feel like you're misleading us, Johnny.
I feel like you're doing the exact opposite of what I was trying to do, Johnny. But since as punishment, John, now it's your turn. Where are you traveling to?
So I'm gonna say the location at the very end, but my dream vacation. There's a reason for this because there's a lot of places.
Go ahead, yeah.
There's a lot of places that not the end of my like whatever, but there's a reason for me saying that is because
you put it in the back and reversed it.
when I like my dream vacation kind of
fast
fits
enough?
I'm gonna keep
Go to
talking.
the Diddy party.
My dream vacation kind of fits like a mold for a lot of places out here. But I really like being on the beach, like being by water, like even like small like forest waterfalls. Like I mean, my background, for example, like this is a great place for me to just kind of like chill. But I really want to be like by a beach, either like by like a not super dense forest, but like a chill forest, or just by water essentially, somewhere tropical, and like kind of just like taking it easy, not really like going out and doing stuff, just literally just chilling. And my idea for where that would be is specifically Puerto Rico, and partially the reason I picked Puerto Rico is out of all the tropical places I could go, is because I've only ever been to Puerto Rico when I was really young and barely remember it. But the memories I do have of Puerto Rico is it is beautiful. Like my family in Puerto Rico is from like the countryside, and in Puerto Rico, like forests and stuff are technically blocked off for tourists. You have to be like a local to really access them, and even then, you have to be like a native to access the forest. But we didn't care, so we went into forest. Like I remember, we found a really small waterfall, and my family was like climbing it and stuff. And like I remember one of my family members got their toe pinched by a lobster that was in the water, which was really funny. But like something like just that beauty of like the nature, I think really sticks out to me. And I like whenever I want to like calm down or relax, like even at home, I'll put on like ocean noises, or like rain, or for like the sound
sink.
the sound of water itself is something that really calms me. Not the sink, but the sound of water is something that really calms me. And I do like being like in tropical areas, because like I don't know. It's just something about like whenever I envision a good vacation, I envision me sitting on a beach, just under like one of those beach umbrellas, just looking at the ocean and just chilling there. Like that's like my dream, is to just do that, and like taking away like all the downsides of being in Puerto Rico, which are the gigantic bugs that exist there. And like I don't really know Spanish that well, so like talking to locals is kind of hard. But it's part of America, quotes, so it is Americanized in some cities and stuff like that. But really being in that countryside, and that's why I said I wanted to say the location last, because the idea of like that tropicalness is in many places. Like you can say Jamaica, Hawaii, like Maldives, however you pronounce it, Turks and Caicos. Like there's so many
Maldives.
places. Yeah, there's so many
These?
places that fit that
These dives.
that idea of like a tropical area that Puerto Rico is the one that came to mind because I want to see that beauty again that I saw when I was a kid and see if it wasn't just like, I was a kid. Like I'm talking like 6 years old is the last time I went to Puerto Rico.
Mm.
So I want to like kind of see that beauty again, like hear those noises, like all the other Puerto Ricans that
Smell
listen, if
those
you do
smells.
listen, you think of like the coqui, yeah, and the smells, like the food is. I love Puerto Rican food so much. Um, Not biased, but it's just that's where I envision just that idea of like serenity, essentially. Like that's what I see as a vacation. I can escape from like the normal, like kind of just chilling.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, I like obviously the tropical vacation is um some people's favorite kind of trip, but I think Puerto Rico specifically, I didn't add that to my list of places to go, but Puerto
Mhm.
Rico is pretty cool. A lot of history there as well.
Yeah,
Um, and I think like, you know, it's a place I'm not too uh not aware, not that I'm not aware of it, but like I don't really know too much about it. But I know there's a lot of, I mean, it is a tourist place.
yeah,
It is there's a lot to offer. I think the um the beach, the beach life is where it's at over there. So
yeah. Like
give it a shot.
San Juan is very San Juan is the capital of Puerto Rico, and like it's very Americanized, and I don't really like using Americanized because again, Puerto Rico is part of America, so all
Hmm.
of it's Americanized, really. But the countryside is where you really get like the deep culture and stuff like that. But it is like that's where they speak a majority Spanish. San Juan is like more English speakers and stuff like that. Um, so if you do ever want to go to Puerto Rico, like for the first time, I recommend just going to San Juan. And kind of just exploring because there is a lot of like cultural sites in San Juan, like there's ruins and stuff like that too that aren't too far off. Like
Hmm.
there's tons of stuff to do in Puerto Rico. Not a huge island either, so
I feel like
travel well.
the like the heritage sites and the nature
Mhm.
aspect of it. 'Cause I love doing like trips. Like I feel like when I go out of the U.S., that's the first thing I think about is what does the history look like? What is the culture's past? Like I want to go see those places, and then seeing uh, the biodiversity or seeing the really cool hiking trails or forest areas. Like there's big bugs and stuff for sure, but I mean, it's a different experience. Like I think America has all these trails and stuff, which is like cool, but it's not really the same as being out in those places that have been less touched
Yeah,
than you know
I think
the United States.
I think Puerto Rico also is like sound. Like the more I think about it, sound atmosphere is really like prominent for me. Like I love having like really deep sounds around me and like just taking in sound is like the first thing you're really taking when I'm in nature. It's just all the different
Mhm.
sounds, like even just like the wind brushing against the trees and stuff like that. Like I love that sort of thing. And
Mm-hmm.
Puerto Rico does sound in nature really well. Because there's all the sounds of tropicalness, like water rushing and stuff like that, wind and all that. But then there's also the coquis, which I don't know if you guys know what coquis are, but it is the local frog there. They have a very distinct sound that sounds like they're saying coquis. It's like really high pitched. I will post it later on so that way we don't take too much time listening to it or whatever. Audience, look it up on YouTube. There's tons of videos on it. They're literally just like a frog like this big that you just hear
Wow,
thousands of them
he's cute.
in Puerto Rico, and like that is
This
the
is
atmosphere there. It is
this is Kiko
it's beautiful.
Jr.
It's beautiful. Like I can't describe like I have nothing but good memories of being in Puerto Rico, and I don't even like I've only like again I haven't been there since I was 6 years old, so I want to go back. So that's kind of it for my idea. Like
Are you big on hiking? Like, would you go hiking in like the
I
forest or
would
anything?
I would go hiking, but I've never been hiking just, like, in general, like, haven't, like, been like, "I'm gonna go out and, walk this trail or whatever." I would probably just hike in a sense where, like, I find the location to chill, not hike as far as, like, continuously walking and exploring, like, I would find somewhere to chill and like just relax. Like again, like if I walk a trail and find like a little waterfall, like I would just sit there for hours. That would be the majority of the time I'm out, is just sitting there and just taking in everything.
Okay.
And then like I said, like Puerto Rico's pretty small. So if that like Serenity is like, all right, I need something to do. San Juan is not that far. Like big cities are not going to be super far from me. So there's plenty to do, I think. And again, we talked about Japanese food, which is like kind of the opposite spectrum of Puerto Rican food. Like Japanese food is very healthy and small portions. Nah, Puerto Ricans, we eat, brother. We eat. We got huge portions. It's mainly pork and chicken because that's usually all that's on that island. Rice, like it's so good, man. It's so good. I love Puerto Rican food so much.
You have to make us some, and then we'll have to eat it.
I told you I'm gonna make you guys some rice at Frosty's, so I sticking to it.
I need pork and chicken from the island.
All right, I'm going to Puerto Rico and I'll bring it.
We can go to Amu and Oink and get those ingredients. So
I'll see if I can find some ingredients to make you guys
remember Amu and Oink. Okay, so that works for me.
But yeah, that's my idea of a dream vacation, I guess.
I like it. I like being out and about. So I'm down for that. Might find a tiny frog that gets eaten by a giant bug.
Bro.
Honestly,
once Johnny said giant bug, I'm like, yeah, you'll tell me about the trip, bro.
That was the biggest thing with the forest dimension. I was like, dude, the thing with forests is they just like, they're always beautiful to look at, beautiful to walk through, but then it's like, no one talks about the negative things.
I don't know. I guess I don't really worry about that. I think if a bug is bigger, I'm less worried about because I can see it. And I think in those places, I'm more worried about like something poisonous.
I'll say it's less on the size for me. It's definitely like the effects of getting bit by one. Will I die? Will my trip be ruined?
I like to think this is not a rule of thumb. Do not bank on this when you're out walking, viewers. If it's a big thing, it's probably because it's probably less venomous because doesn't rely on poison to defend itself. So, but it's like snakes. Anaconda's not necessarily poison. It's because it's big, it can kill you.
I'm good. Don't they got the bird-eating spiders down there?
I think that's Australia.
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, that's a lot of places, actually.
They're probably there, too.
I'll look it up later.
I guarantee Australia, though.
It's just like...
I never gone there. So
even like common bugs are big. Like a ladybug would be fucking huge. So,
but they're nice.
Sure.
I want to try Australia just because all the weird stuff. Like, dude, it's like, how do you guys even live down here?
Johnny's scared of ladybugs.
I'm scared of all bugs. I don't care if you're a lady or not.
Ladybugs do nothing, dude.
I don't care. Does it look like a bug? Yes.
So what is cicada season? Are you just in
look like
panic state?
Yeah, I'm in fear. I'm in fear, bro. If one of them lands on me, I'm dead. I die.
Remember that year there was like an overpopulation of cicadas? Were you just like dead on the inside?
Yeah, I was afraid to walk outside. I lived in fear every day.
It's like balls of paper ran into your neck sometimes, dude.
Like, I hate bugs.
I know, I do too, but like the ones I know don't do anything, I'm like, bro, just get off me, bro.
So you're just gonna slap and move on.
If I see it, like, all right, like I'll keep my distance, but the second one of them things touch me, I don't care what it is. Only thing that's tolerable is like maybe a fruit fly because it's a fly, but look, man, I don't.
A gnat I can handle.
Okay.
I don't mess with bugs.
Fly though.
I don't.
Yeah, fruit fly though.
Fruit
fly. My house is dirty.
Them horse flies though, them big boys.
They
you
bite.
can hear their fucking wings, dude.
Like
that's just annoying.
I just hate that they go for my orifices, bro. They go for my ear, my nose. Like, leave me alone. But anyways, off of bugs. Joseph, where you going?
So I know that's crazy.
Where are you dropping, Joseph?
Yeah, dude.
So this is interesting because like I also would like to go to like Japan and all that stuff, but I thought about it, I was like, I would just like to spend a week in like a bunch of different places during like a festival season. Because I feel like if I really want to enjoy the culture, I gotta do it when they're at their like happiness. Like it's like at their peak. It's like they're celebrating their culture. I thought it'd be really dope to go, like, for example, what is this place called? Anyways, Thailand is my first one that came to mind because like, I love Thai food. Yeah. Don't know too much about the culture or the location. I just know there's a lot of beautiful natural landscapes. I would love to take pictures at, to explore, how like do boat rides around. and stuff like that. But like, man, because like for example, you guys can't see this, but well, the audience can't see it, but you guys can take a picture, take this picture and look at it.
No, actually, our audience can see
Yeah, they
it. It's
can
just
see
our
it now.
audio only listeners.
Yeah.
cannot.
So like for example, this place, I don't know how to pronounce this, bro. Chiang Mai. I'm gonna just
Oh,
say,
is this from Genshin? Is it a Lantern
This looks
Festival?
AI generated.
but
But if it's not, it's pretty.
it's not. It's just in motion.
Oh,
What you call it? I would love to visit a place like this where they have like a really unique
Mm-hmm.
architecture above like a shallow like lake.
Mm-hmm.
Probably artificial lake, but still, it's just like beautiful. It's just beautiful, and it's like something you want to get here in America. I would love to just visit places like during a festival of some type and just like vibe with it. Like, cause like they don't care I'm there. They like, I bet they wouldn't on a normal day, but like the focus would be their culture, and everybody's focused on that to like a higher extent than what they normally would be. So I would love to spend a week in like a bunch of different locations like this and just experience like what they got, like what they're all about. It's super dope to me.
yeah. So, I mean, I agree. I think the festival times can be really cool, especially in countries that aren't. I think that the trick is a country that's not a necessarily popular tourist place, so you're not being overwhelmed by the crowd.
Jeff
That's
from Ohio.
I'm about to say it's not really. I'm not really there to participate, just there to kind of like I said I was there, you know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Thailand is a popular place to go, but I don't know if it's that popular where you have to deal with something like that because obviously you're gonna deal with crowds, but it's
Yeah, you gotta do with crowds, but also like it's everything's spread out too. Because I wouldn't be like in the condensed city during it. I just be like the place I just showed. Like there's like not everybody can go there at once, obviously. At least that's what I assume.
I mean, yeah,
And it's just
exactly.
like
It depends.
yeah, it's easier to take in the environment more, less so the people, more so like what the area is like for me at least. Because to me, people are people. Like you just respect different things and all that. But what they believe in and all that stuff, like I want to see it like physically there, not just like you know through the person. I want to see through the environment rather than a person. I'm trying to get at. And I feel like the best way to do that is during the festival and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I
So
hear
there's
you.
that,
I hear what
and then
you're saying.
also bringing more of my game part. When I was in 2008 when Unleashed came out, I was like, dude,
Sonic
the world has
Unleashed.
some really
Thank
cool
you for
places around the
clarifying.
world.
Sonic
Oh, because
Unleashed for
it's
the
important
360,
because
PlayStation 3, and the Wii.
No, just you said Unleashed, and I was like, the people who have not played or don't know what Sonic Unleashed is be like,
I think of another game that
Unleashed.
has Unleashed in the title to be like, oh, you mean like Lego Unleashed?
Star
Oh, you
Wars
mean
Unleashed.
Unleashed the movie?
Oh, you
The
mean
Force
the
Unleashed.
Force Unleashed?
Yeah.
Force Unleashed. That's what I say. Star Wars
can't wait to-
Unleashed.
Star Wars
No, but I
Unleashed.
bring up Sonic Unleashed because the whole game is based around world travel, and it really made you appreciate different locations of the world outside of New York because it's the worst place in the game. Because dirty, just like in real life. So,
Damn. Sorry, New
basically,
York audience. You heard it here first.
bro, y'all got New York rats, bro. I don't give a. Anyway,
Every city has reds.
Those are legal citizens. What's wrong with you?
they walk
Hey,
around
yeah,
like
be
they own
nice
the
to the
place.
rats. Anyway,
No, but it makes you appreciate like different parts of culture and like how cool the
Mm.
world can be. Like especially because the first stage takes place in Greece, essentially. It's like, bro, like I've never would pay attention to this location without being experiencing it through the game first. Because like no one talks about like the cities with that are like built on the coastline on the side of the hill.
yeah.
I wouldn't know where that was in real life. Like what even like I wouldn't appreciate it, essentially without experiencing it through a video game because it's a type of media that is easier to what you call engage with versus like me randomly stumbling upon it on the internet or something like that.
I
So
think
it just makes you
that's
appreciate
fair,
it.
yeah.
Thanks, Sonic.
I do think that when it comes to like Windfall Island and stuff like that, or Windmill, I forgot the exact name.
It's called
but-
Apodos.
There we go. Thank you.
Windmill Isle.
But I think that they represented Greece really well, like in that game. Like a lot of people were interested in Greece that I've talked to about like travel and stuff like that because of like games like Sonic Unleashed. Because yeah, it's beautiful there. And they did a really good job capturing like cultural aspects of different parts of the world. Like, yeah, so I think that like Sonic Unleashed actually is a good bridge to interest somebody into travel.
I would agree.
Because it's just based off real life locations. So it's like, you're maybe running through a giant location, but that with the warehog sections where it's slower gameplay, you get to appreciate the environment more. And it's like, okay,
I can't wait to shout woo while running through Greece.
You'll be banned from the country
We're
so
about the
quick.
Policia after him.
Running through tables and chairs. Woo!
Yeah, you trip once, you are dead.
Calling Professor Pickle on you.
That's
no,
stone,
not the pickler.
That's stone flooring, bro. You better be careful.
Also, I will say, domestically though, if I'm not talking about international travel, domestically, I definitely still want to go to like Maui or something like that, because it's like one of the least touched places in America still.
Maui? You mean Hawaii?
Yeah. There's different islands.
Oh, the Maui. Sorry, when I think of Maui, I'm thinking
Moana.
Well, but sure.
Anyway, anyway, Maui. I would love
I'm gonna bring Disney into it, man. Come on.
I don't know. They own everybody. Disney sponsors.
Not me. I don't want Disney money because I'm gonna get locked in some kind of contract. So, explicit of you, Disney.
Hey man, call me Eugene because that money would go crazy. But that was he, wasn't it? That was pretty good.
I think he could.
That was pretty good.
I think he could. The rest of the pod can't appreciate it yet. You're not old enough, not wise enough, but I think he could.
Oh boy.
But no, Joseph. I like the idea of like being a spectator to different cultures too. Like I have traveled, like I've traveled outside the country. I've traveled to specifically to Paris and to Rome, and like I haven't went during like festival times, but just like seeing the architecture and like we did do some tourist stuff, but seeing the architecture and just seeing like the culture in those areas is like, granted both are in Europe, but like just spectating that type of stuff is something that I like still appreciate to this day. Like I don't have too many memories of those places outside of like what I was doing there, because I traveled because I was in a like a youth church choir, and my church choir was really like blessed and was able to like travel different places. So outside of like the memories of being in that choir, I still have memories of like, experiencing like walking the city of Paris and like seeing the architecture and stuff like that. So like I think that looking at the culture and how the culture interacts within itself is something that is always good to take in. Like what you're saying with like Thailand specifically.
Yeah, it's like an elevated experience from like if you travel any time of the year, essentially.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
All right, Steven. I think you're the last one.
Time to shine, bro.
It's time to shake the ground.
Ooh.
It's always coming. It's a new podcast.
I'm sorry, viewers.
I had to control myself not to just start breaking out of the song, but
it's gonna be our outro music now.
Self-control.
No, it is not. But all right. So similar to Joseph, I think he brought up a good point. Like doing a tour of a bunch of like neighboring countries is always like, if you can do it, is a way to go, because you kind of get like a little bit of, you get a lot out of your trip. Because I think you get a lot out of the trip, especially if you don't really know what you want to go see your first time through. So you want like a smorgasbord of sampling. You're not going to get everything done anyway, so you might as well try to see as much as you can, and then plan ahead for that more, I guess, not narrow-minded. So I got the lyrics in my head again, but a much more designated, specific trip. I can't think of the word, but anyway. So that being said, I think a tour of Europe would be my trip of choice, but because I'm looking at the time, I'm going to say what would be my final destination would be Switzerland. Specifically, well, I guess it can really be in, because Switzerland's not a very big country in the first place. I'm not going to say I'm a history buff, but I do pay attention a lot to, I am fascinated by world history and kind of like how it all ties together and connects, and how the stories are told are kind of like very interesting, like comparative to like, in the past, we live in a pretty mundane, well, hopefully it'll be a mundane time. Things are changing, but not on the scale of things that have changed in the past. So I'm always kind of looking at that. And Switzerland's always like an interesting place because it's not ever in the middle of a conflict or middle of a situation, but it's always somehow involved. Um,
Yeah.
and it also is interesting because it's kind of a country the history is very interesting because it's protected by its own nature. So there's a lot, like the Alps, and so the nature itself is amazing. Um, there's a lot of dirty money in Switzerland,
Mhm.
which I think is always like it's a fascinating thing to kind of read about. So, um, but I think also that the culture is very interesting. It's a French German um,
Fusion.
fusion, yeah, um, country, that's who's kind of made their own way as their own like sort of nationality. So that being said, though, the country is very interesting. I think people are kind of sleeping on it because it's not, well, one, it's kind of expensive, but it's also a country that kind of does it what goes by its own path. It's not exactly you wouldn't call it a tech hub, you wouldn't call it a major tourist attraction, but I have attraction to it because one, I think it is a somewhere from our family. I would say it's from there. We think anyway, because you know how it is with black families. We can't always tell exactly where we come from, but so there's always the ancestral history there. It is technically a tech hub, so there's a lot of gaming expos. There's a lot of, um, like just tech conferences, and there's a lot of job opportunities there as well. So there's that aspect of it. The nature around it, because obviously you're in Europe, you can easily get in and out. I believe by train to get from place to place. So if you wanted to go to say like
Yes.
Germany for a day, you can get there pretty
The
quickly.
train system's pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Really
so
good.
public transit's there. It's kind of like this interesting hidden gem that keeps coming up in conversation. And I think also like its history is, again, like I love learning about countries' histories, world history, stuff like that. So there's a lot of deep, um, stuff to get there as well because they've been as a country that's been like the neutral power since its initial beginnings. I don't know. I feel like the people there might have, you can probably meet some interesting people there as well. So I'm there for the culture. I'm there for the environment, the nature. It's great. And then the other thing about it is some of the things they do are still like old Europe, but they still have this thing called the Swiss Guard, which are these like highly trained soldiers. Very exclusive, by the way. You can't even get in unless you're Swiss. Um, but but the thing about it is their garb has not been updated.
Are they like the red coats or
No,
whatever? Like England
so they got
almost?
this. It's you look it up if you got the time, but essentially it's like they wear this blue, orange, and white garb. Um, it's very bright, but they're trained in like all sorts of weapons, and it's just interesting to see them. You can see some of their demonstrations while you're there, but
Yeah.
I've always made a joke. It's like, oh, because technically we're part Swiss, we could technically be part of the Swiss Guard.
Nah, you gotta be a pure blood, bro.
I don't think so. I don't think they do base it off that. I think they're based off if you can prove that you are of Swiss
It's
descent.
a scent, yeah.
Yeah, and we do have a coat of arms. Surprise. Well, again, maybe. So it's always been kind of a joke. I always want to go there and be like, man, I wonder if I could apply. It's just to see how far I can get the interview process. It's very rigorous. It's like 10 years, I think, before we can even get in. But
Jeez.
well, because their specific job is
Yeah.
to defend the royalty. So which
Mm.
these days is, you know, it's pretty chill. You obviously go to training and stuff, but it's not that big of a deal. But
You love fighting for the good cause, huh, Steven? In your bunker,
if I have to,
even out of the country.
Yeah, dude.
That's
yeah,
my captain.
I'd rather fight for a country that's only causes itself and not looking for self gain.
Primarily defense.
That's right.
Right.
I love America. So, but yeah, like I was looking up stuff. Like they have their own E3 essentially. It's called the Zurich Game Fest. Sorry, the Ludicious Zurich Game Festival.
Hey, let's go. Ludicious is a crazy
Yeah.
word.
It's
I like
like
that.
Zerg's not a real word.
It's like ludicrous.
exactly. Well, I got ludicrous go there. But yeah, it's just like a tech festival. So they have the whole thing. Like they have the games, new products, developers, cosplayers, obviously. So, but Switzerland's always been kind of this central, this interesting like offshoot country that no one really talks about because it's not like there's nothing like it's like Eastern Europe. It's not like anything that really stands out that you couldn't get from like the Western European area, but it is worthwhile because there are some interesting aspects and some things. Maybe standout was the wrong word because they have their own unique stuff, and it's not a tourist trap type of place. So
yeah.
So maybe that's not even on the top of my list, but I think that is a place I'd love to visit before I hit the dirt nap.
Before you shake the ground.
Oh my god! We just keep going back.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
You want to talk about family origins, though? Why do I say Africa?
I'm
Japanese. I think Africa would be interesting. I'm trying to think of a place that I would go to and want to stay for a long period of time in Africa. And like I think
Egypt.
I think Egypt would be cool, but I'm trying to think of like West Africa apparently is a very good like tourist place. But I'm trying to think if you'd have to have a guide. I think there you have to have a guided tour, which I think everywhere you should, if you're trying for the first time, have a guided tour to kind of plan out things. But
get away from tourists.
Also, traps. I would never go to Egypt, by the way. Egypt's all a tourist trap.
Yeah, but to say there's a lot of tourist traps, just in the world in general, especially for like super popular places to travel.
I just hate to say it, but unfortunately for Africa, like from what I've heard, because mom took a trip to Africa and she enjoyed it, and there's a lot of cool stuff to do and everything, but I don't know, sometimes things just be happening. Maybe it's in every country, you gotta be ready for it, but there's some occurrences that occur. I'm like, oh, okay, like this is insane. This is now a situation. So I don't know. Again, nothing against Africa. Anything can happen anywhere in the world, but based on my mom's trip, and she's very careful about these things. She had a great time, but there were some issues that I was like, oh, this could have not been a great time. So I'm only being vague. I don't remember the whole details and everything. Something involving a bus and the police force because someone took a picture of them. It was a whole thing. So, it's
interesting.
I'm good with my ramen in the rain.
Let's say, like, I don't want to be accosted by the police for something stupid.
Yeah, I'll chill with my little froggies in the ocean.
Yeah, and they're giant bugs. Anyway,
yeah, I'll be okay with bugs. Like, I'll have an army of frogs and I'll train. They'll protect me.
You'll train.
Yeah, I'll train them. You doubt me?
Yes.
How to Train Your Frogs?
Oh, that's actually if they're only
that was my favorite book in middle school.
Yeah, if they're only 2 inches, then it should be easy.
Yeah, they're tiny, bro. That's what I said. A little army of them.
Yeah.
Frogs reproduce like, rabbits.
They're kind of small, like bugs.
Yeah, but they're frogs.
Unlike the bugs they'll be fighting down in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, it's like opposite, bro. It's opposite day.
But their main way of attacking is eating. They can't eat them if they're that big.
Yeah, they're big.
If there's multiple, though,
that doesn't make any sense.
I'll figure it out, guys. Right, I'll plan it out myself.
You know what? You said you figured it out.
We're rambling. We're rambling.
And I'll let you guys figure it out in the comments section. Tell us your dream vacation. I know they don't give you enough characters to put a whole thing, but put the title down. Let me know what you're interested in.
Where they will have enough characters? In the YouTube comment section, because we got video, baby.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're going to YouTube now. We're already there.
We're on YouTube. This. Yeah, we're on YouTube now.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I'll do announcements another episode.
Well, I figured would tell them those. But anyway, this is rambling on enough. Thank you for listening to the Black City Pod. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Stay warm this winter, and if you're already warm, you're enjoying your traveling trip. Good for you. Hey, trying to have an extra body on your trip. Let me know. All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
See the ground.
Touch it.